King's Dominion is getting a 40 free spin. Shocker. I feel like we've known this for the same amount of time that Iron Gwazi has been sitting dormant, which has been a long time. I was going to make some sort of analysis video about it, but then I was like, there's not really much of a point of analyzing a free spin anymore. So this video is more about the future of King's Dominion. King's Dominion is in a very interesting spot. They not only are adding a 40 free spin called Tumbili. Okay, I think you've already lost when your coaster name is that hard to say, but maybe we should just call it Monkey Coaster. But anyways, they're completely retheming Safari Village to Jungle Expedition, which is a fairly big deal, at least in my opinion. Having an area of a park getting rethemed is a pretty major addition, which is kind of odd considering this is just a free spin. But they are packaging this whole retheme with it too. However, this is where I think that the former site of Volcano may come into play. Today, I'm going to be analyzing this addition for King's Dominion, but more importantly, discussing how this coaster plays a role in the bigger picture. Before we get into that, make sure to give this video a like. That is the best way to help out the channel against the YouTube algorithm, and if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. With that being said, let's jump right in. Let's first discuss what we know about Tumbili and Jungle Expedition. Here's some information revealed by the park. After a decade of searching in the Amazon jungle for a place he called X, in 1935, Professor Gerald Winston Way found his prize, ancient ruins of temples built by humans to worship animal spirits. But not just to worship. Legend had it that animals possessed all who entered the temples. Way claimed to experience that phenomenon firsthand after being possessed by a monkey, or Tumbili as the Swahili call it. Fellow archaeologists lauded Way's astounding discovery, but scoffed at his claims of spiritually connecting with animal spirits. Way's great-granddaughter Alexandra believed though, and today operates the ancient site as Jungle Expedition. She needs additional explorers to help excavate the area and find proof in Professor Way's claims. Come to Jungle Expedition for the adventure of a lifetime. A Jungle Expedition Center is an experience for only the most extreme adventures. Tumbili, Virginia's first 40 free spin coaster, taking its name from the Swahili word for monkey. This thrill ride will have you tumbling and spinning head over heels, like monkeys scampering high in the rainforest tree canopy. Ready for a family attraction like no other? Journey to Jungle Expedition. This theme is sort of confusing and raises a lot of questions. There's definitely more they can add onto this theme for sure. Looking at Tumbili itself, it is actually a smaller free spin model similar to Dragon Slayer at Adventureland. These models are said to provide a lot more spinning than the larger models found at many Six Flags parks. Based on the animations, the area seems to be pretty well themed. They also will be replacing the Outer Hanks restaurant with a new renovated restaurant called Base Camp, which should also be another fine addition. This area plus the new coaster should really add a lot to the park. Cedar Fair has done new areas very well as of late. However, I think many people are overlooking this addition for what could be coming in the future, and more specifically, what will replace Volcano the Blast coaster. Volcano's removal was met with a lot of frustration. So many are expecting a big replacement in the future for this ride. This is understandable, considering Volcano was one of the park's standout rides. Volcano's removal was very sudden, which means that its replacement will probably take a little while. The free spin rumors made people think this replacement ride was going to take a little while, and the free spin would be a filler addition. The free spin is going in the former plot of the crypt. I'm not going to jump on board the train that there might not be a Volcano replacement for at least 5 to 10 years, but it at least has to cross your mind. This park has kind of gotten screwed over by Cedar Fair in the past, like they really haven't given them many major investments since Intimidator 305. Yeah, I know Twisted Timbers, and even though we don't have an exact cost for that coaster, Steel Vengeance only cost $7.5 million. And yeah, I also know that Cedar Fair revamped Candy Apple Grove, but even with that, It was probably nowhere near an investment on the scale of something like Orion, Yukon Striker, or Copperhead Strike, which are additions that so-called major Cedar Fair parks got in the last few years. The pandemic also doesn't seem to be helping this either. Cedar Fair probably had something else planned for 2021, and that has probably been pushed back to 2023. So they are probably way behind schedule. Also, let's look at the last 10 years for King's Dominion. Like I mentioned, they got Twisted Timbers and now Tumbili. But what else have they gotten? A Windseeker, Delirium, a few Planet Snoopy additions, a lot of park improvements, and some water park expansions. Those are all decent investments, but they aren't on the schedule of a top tier Cedar Fair park. Another thing we have to talk about here is attendance. Attendance is one of the driving forces behind new additions. Cedar Fair doesn't release exact numbers, but in 2019, King's Dominion ranked on the same level as Dorney Park, Valley Fair, and California's Great America. You could probably argue that King's Dominion is probably 7th in the Cedar Fair food chain, only ahead of Dorney Park, Valley Fair, Worlds of Fun, and Michigan's Adventure, so there's probably less of a reason for Cedar Fair to just go all willy-nilly and just throw a $20 million investment in this park. I've also heard rumors that Twisted Timbers didn't really raise attendance at all, but I couldn't find any information on that. But if that is true, there's not much of a reason to rush a big investment into this park. I also think Cedar Fair keeps plugging in safe, cheaper investments into this park like a free spin in an RMC. Doesn't that seem sort of reminiscent of a Six Flags strategy? I think Cedar Fair is starting to lose hope that King's Dominion can gain attendance. These additions as of late represent the last gasp for Cedar Fair trying to boost attendance of this park, before they send it to the bottom of the chain. On the bright side, Cedar Fair has remained persistent with this park, and I think there's still hope for a big investment. I think this Jungle Expedition area is sort of a test to see if King's Dominion is still worth investing in. The investment that Cedar Fair is making with this addition is significant enough to warrant some return. But the investment isn't big enough to become a massive loss if it fails. If this addition does well, I think we'll be seeing a large addition sooner rather than later for King's Dominion. But if it doesn't do that well, I think Volcano's replacement will be on hold for a while. One indicator of this should be the future of Avalanche. Avalanche has been closed for the entirety of the 2021 season. The theme of this coaster doesn't really fit the new theme of the area, and it didn't really fit before. If King's Dominion has some serious plans in the future, then I think we could see this coaster get removed with the intention of clearing more space, and just the ride not fitting in the park anymore. So only time will tell how this shakes out. At the end of the day, money is the name of the game, and whoever makes it will get more money put back into it. King's Dominion is going to have to earn their big replacement for Volcano, because I don't think minimal growth of these other additions is going to warrant the investment that fans of the park want. That's just my thoughts on the future of King's Dominion, and make sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below if you agree with me or you disagree with me. Just make sure to keep it respectful. Also, tell me what you think of the additions of Tumbili and Jungle Expedition to King's Dominion as well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this coming very soon. With all that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.